Yeah, we are live now.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this week's Socratic Dialogue. So, let us first start by introducing ourselves.
Hello everyone, I'm Nitish, a business growth analyst at Unique Biotech.
Hi
Hello,
everyone, I'm Yashita and I'm a part of Team Neuroscale.
hello everyone. I'm Vikrant of Team Neuroscape.
Hello everyone, I am Mitra from Team Neuroscale.
Hello everyone, I am Prachi from Team Neural Compass.
Hello everyone, this side Pratik Raj from Team Neural Compass.
So, hello everyone, I am Nihal and I am the co-moderator of this session.
Good evening, everyone. I am Ananya Agrawal and I'll be the moderator for this session. So, the topic for today's Socratic Dialogue is evolution of emotions. And we have two teams with us, Team Neural Compass and Team Neural Scale. So, which team would like to go first?
We'll go first.
Okay, so Team Neural Compass, you can start by introducing your team name and the reason why you chose this team name, and then you can start with your presentation.
Good evening everyone, we're Team Neural Compass. We named ourselves that because we guide teams through the brain's emotional paths like a compass in the mind for tough choices. Our slide looks at how old brain wiring from evolution fights modern tech mess, but emotions are our key to fast, smart choices. We'll move on to the next slide. Now, think of this. Our ancestors ran from big cats and picked wild food, so evolution built quick emotion tricks. Fear warns of danger, bonding keeps tribes strong for kids. In groups like Deep Thought, this helps make AI that copies human gut feels. It cuts wrong calls in big businesses by 30%, turns quick hunches into real wins. We'll move on to the next slide. But those tricks can fight each other. You want sleep, but a noise says wake and run. Emotions play referee. They boost worry to beat tiredness in real risk. Over to Prachi.
Thank you, Nitish. Uh, can we move to the next slide? Yeah, so, our mind is always choosing between being careful and taking action. Emotions help us on what's important, like feeling alert when there is danger. This keeps changing with what's happening around us. Moving to the next slide. Emotions also manage our energy. Fear helps us focus, and joy brings back motivation. They helps us decide faster and get our body and mind ready to act. Over to you, Pratik.
Thank you, Prachi. So, when we talk about fear, it's not just a panic or anxiety, it's evolution way of keeping us alive. Nature fine-tuned fear so we stay alert but not too frozen. Too much and we can't move forward. Again, too little and we miss the danger. Over generations, our brains have learned to read the world and adjust that balance, making fear less of an enemy and more quiet of a quiet guardian of a survival. So next slide. Yes, this one. So emotions may feel sudden, but they're actually the result of that deep evolutionary design. Over the time, our brains helped learn which emotional responses help us adapt and survive. Feelings like joy and anger and fear are not that random. They are finely tuned trade-offs shaped by the countless generations. Even today, like evolution keeps us testing and refining these emotions as our world changes, helping us stay as responsive as human. So, in conclusion, I would conclude that emotions aren't flaws to hide. Actually, they are the tools that help us keep alive and connected to the human beings. Evolution designed them to help us navigate relationships, making the quicker decision and also building trust. What we now call emotional intelligence is really an upgraded version of those same survival instincts. In today's fast changing world, the challenge isn't about to suppress those emotions, but to understand them carefully and use them with your own self awareness and those right purpose. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Neural Compass. So now the question box is open for Team Neuroscale. You can ask your questions to Team Neural Compass.
So, can we conclude that are we just slave to our emotions?
No.
Vikrant, can you be more specific with your question?
Like, if I have to explain it, mm, most of the times we are taking decisions based on our emotions only. Like, they play a major role in it. So, can we conclude, like, are we slave to our emotions?
I would say not exactly because we are not a slave to our emotions, but most of us live as if we are. Emotions actually, in my opinion, emotions are not actually enemies. They are the signals that developed us, that evolved us, help us to survive. You can say like fear protects or anger defends, or you can say sadness heals us ourselves. The problem begins when we identify with them instead of observing them. For example, saying I'm angry traps us while I feel anger creates a space of choice. Our limbic system, I would suggest, like our limbic system reacts first, but our prefrontal cortex gives us the control. I would conclude that one thing like emotional intelligence lies in using those emotions as information and not instruction.
So, I have one follow-up question. When sometimes our emotions and our instinct or logical things conflict, and even you might have also experienced it many times. So, to whom do you choose? Your instinct, emotions, or the logic?
It depends upon the environment. For example, if you're having a bad day and your instinct is telling that you need some rest, so go with the instinct. If you're, for example, and if you are in a corporate world and if you are handling a business situations, so you should go with the logic one.
Yeah, so does it answer your question, Vikrant?
Yes.
So another follow-up
So I would
question,
like
anyone?
to,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
I would like to ask a question. Like, how can leaders check if their team is emotionally healthy or not? How can they check?
The very first thing I want to add thing that you have to interact with your teams. You have to have you have that emotional empathy to your teammates and interact with them on a certain topic or the certain things. For if you got to know that they are like what we say, mm, emotional intelligence are okay or the emotional health is okay, then go with the certain topics, then discuss over that certain topics. First, you have if you want to have that get the knowledge that they are fine or not, interact with them in an emotional way, in an empathy way.
Yeah, so does it answer your question, Mitra?
Yes. And I have another follow-up question for this. So, like you have mentioned, like, okay, the team has to do so and so things. Can you specify what are the things that a leader can do? Like activities or other things that he should make sure that his people are working well. Are there any specific activities you can include in a company?
Yeah, of
I would say,
course. Yeah, Pratik.
yeah, no, no, you go first.
Okay, so for any company or team to align on the same page, they need to be emotionally intelligent. And yes, being a leader, it is very important to check if all of their teammates are, emotionally aligned with each other or not. Because uh, emotional intelligence means part of your brain power is shared smartly, y- uh, and when your part of brain power is shared smartly, you kind of tend to focus on things that has to be done fast. So we can just filter out the things that is worrying our teammates, and then
Does it answer your question, Mitra?
Yes.
I have a follow-up question. Like you talked about, emotional intelligence can help us in filtering out. So, what exactly is that filtering out and how it can help us in that?
so like in decision making, not overthinking, like what if this will happen, what if that will happen. And if we filter out these things, then there is a sink in, our efficiency and decision. So it helps in quick work. And yeah.
Yeah, so does it answer your question, Yeshita?
Oh, I have a follow-up question. Like you talked about filtering out. So, what is that filtering out exactly? Are you talking about thoughts or works? What are you saying when you say that filter out? That is my question.
Yeah, filtering out the fear, overthinking, to balance, but with emotional intelligence we can balance that with caution and functionality. So yeah, like excess fear may reduce adaptability, so and even low fear can risk survival. So there has to be a balance between both of the things.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
That answers my question.
Okay, so any follow-up questions? So team, neuro skill can start the representation and explain why they choose that name and short summary of the representation. Vikrant, you are on mute mode by the way.
Sorry. So we called ourselves Neuroscale because we realized something, that companies doesn't grow by just moving faster. They grow by understanding why people actually do what they do. Like, think about it. You make decision based on how you feel, not just what you think. When you are scared, you play it safe. When you feel trusted, you would like to take some risk. So that's what Neuroscale is about. And okay, so the Asian. Like, I will tell you something interesting. Like, our brain is basically the same as our ancestors' brain from 10,000 years ago. But instead of hunting food, you are sitting in Zoom calls, and your body doesn't know the difference when your boss asks for a status update or you are not ready, your heart races, you feel nervous. That's fear. It's the same fear as your ancestors felt when a predator shows up or when they are hunting and a fierce animal comes. Or when your colleague takes credit of your work, you feel anger and humiliated. The same feeling that makes tribe care about reputation and survival. Adaptive. Long ago, we humans figured out, how do I find food, whom I can trust, how do I stay safe, all these life and death questions. Today, we ask different. Like, can I trust this leader? Will I get credit for my work? Or but these emotions are same. Like, we can take one real life example, where Netflix says yes to, okay, you can come and give your crazy ideas. At that time, you won't be getting punished, you will get supported. And the same thing about survival, like when that triggers something, when you are exploring humans emotions, you will get to know about, okay, creativity also is there, and this adaptiveness is had changed with time, and that has evolved. That's it. I would like to Mitra to follow up.
Thank you, Vikrant, for that insightful part. Now, moving forward, I'll be talking about how these emotions actually act as this master program. Like, before this logic and languages were even existed, emotions used to drive human beings' behavior. Our feelings decide where our energy goes and where our attention goes. Suppose if we are in fear, we try to plan and protect ourselves. But when we feel trusted, we try to collaborate and take bold steps forward. Moving on, and every decisions we take in our lives, from a meeting to a mission, everything will be driven by this emotional design. because emotions, like, they act as, like, the kind of driving force which tend people to act and decide and think whatever they want. So moving on to the next slide. From this emotional, please move to the next slide. Okay, yeah, thank you. From emotional point of view, this like emotions are like nature's balancing system. Suppose if you feel too much pressure, your creativity gets blocked. But if it is low, it leads to carelessness. Likewise, too much pride leads to arrogance, and less leads to makes us invisible. So strong leaders make sure that they manage this ambition and empathy. So strong organization don't just follow the rules. They follow these feelings. They create environments where people feel trusted, safe, and supported so that they can give their best. Over to Yashita.
Yeah, can you? Yeah. So, whenever we talk about any company, we come across a culture. Culture is basically how people are treating each other in that particular company. So, when we talk about culture, what comes in as the rituals and the habits that are followed over there. So, that play a very important role in any organization, because if we have a very safe culture there, so people are able to recognize their emotions and tell each other about their emotions, which helps them in regulating their work as well. So when we talk about a well-run business, it's not just about the tools they make, it's about if the people are valued and they're able to understand and recognize their emotions in an environment. So can you move on to the next slide? So to conclude, emotions are what guide everyone. They help people in growing each other, trusting each other, and working well in a particular environment. They help us in recognizing the bottlenecks and the problems. Once you're able to recognize the person's emotion, you're able to recognize the bottlenecks, and hence you're able to build systems to make sure those bottlenecks are solved. Thank you.
Yeah, so question box is open for Team Neural Compass. You can start with your question.
Okay, I'll go first. So if teamwork emotions are unchanged from a long ago, like from the caveman days, why do modern remote teams struggle more with trust than old tribes? Like, does that mean evolution's trust algorithm need a software update or something like that?
Mm. No, it's not like
Uh,
that. When you are meeting a person face to face, you get to know about them more clearly, like their hand gestures, the way they are talking, what are they paying attention to, what you are saying. That builds a trust when you are talking with someone face to face. It's totally different when you're talking with someone on a Zoom call, because you are just not able to get the whole picture. You are just
My
saying
question, my
face.
question is about remote team.
Maybe elaborate your
Nitin,
question.
Nitish, can you elaborate your question by the way?
Yeah, so I'm saying that let's suppose the emotions are unchanged from the caveman days. So why do we see like remote teams these days struggle more with trust issues than old tribes? So like, does that means evolution's trust algorithm that we have that they have mentioned in their PPT? Does that need a software update, or maybe a software update for Zoom calls for handling trust issues with remote team?
I mean, it's about the priorities only. That earlier people were more focused on finding food and survival. Herein, we are not even focusing, not only focusing on survival, we are also focusing on each other's emotions and how we can drive those emotions and work on what we actually want to work on, that are deliverables, right? So once we are in survival mode, and the other way, we are in expansion mode. So when there are two different modes, so emotions do change. It's not always unchanged. Maybe the manner in which we are actually presenting our emotions has changed, but it is still a different.
Okay, so I think we've got the question and the answer. Let's not go on tangents. So please stick to the topic and you're related to your work. Okay, any more follow-up questions?
Yes, I have one. I mean, I have many. So I had figured out that you have written that term emotional design, I guess, in your paper. So what does it mean for a design to have an emotional design? What does it mean for a decision in terms of business perspective to have an emotional design?
So when we talk about
Uh,
emotional design, so emotional design is basically understanding each and everyone's emotion and then designing the tools and the frameworks in the same manner. Once we're able to understand the emotion, then we'll be able to design the tools which are actually required according to the emotions that we're fixing on.
Did it answer your question, Prateek?
I have a follow-up question. Is it necessary to understand everyone's emotions because everyone's perspective and emotion is not as per the decisions?
I feel it is important to understand each and everyone's emotions because emotions come up when there is a particular problem. So when we are able to identify the emotions, we can understand the problem in a much better manner, and hence we are able to design the systems better.
Okay, I got answers.
Yeah. So any more follow-up question?
Yeah, I have another one. Sorry. If
Okay.
like I would ask that how do company rituals and habits influence the collective emotions of the team members?
Can you elaborate it?
Like for example, you design a company rituals. Like for example, in DT there is an LTI or the SD pages. Okay, so how do we influence the emotions, collective emotions of all the TT folks or all the TT project interns? How do it affect or influence them in a bad way or in a good way? How?
Yeah, when we have rituals wherein people are able to understand and present their emotions to us, and we're able to understand the emotion because of that. Like we have appreciation notes, we have various different emotions. We are reflect on our day every day, right? So we are able to present our emotions and understand what was the problem that was blocking us. So in a way, we are able to understand our emotions better when there are rituals involved.
Yeah. So does it answer your question, Pratik? Any more follow-up questions?
And if anyone wants to add anything to Yashita's answer, they can.
I have
yeah,
another
I would like to add
questions.
a point.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, Mitra, you can go
Like,
on.
yeah, according to Yashika said, like I support her answer. And along with that, these kind of rituals make people connect with themselves. Like, they come to know where are they lagging behind. And these kind of rituals make people connect with their teammates also. Like for suppose in this LDI session or SD session which we are following in this DT helps people, like since Tarun explains each and everything, people will be able to rigor. I mean, they will be able to think in different perspectives and understands other with an empathy. So that's what these rituals plays a vital role in each and every company. Yeah.
How is rigor related to emotions? Like, if I would want to explain it to someone, like to my
Hmm.
team member, how do I do that?
Like I explain this topic rigor because sometimes what happens is sometimes these emotions will take over this logic. At that time you need to take a pause and ask yourself a different questions or think in a different perspective so that you can answer this question or solve a problem. So by questioning your emotions you can get answers. That's what I meant to say.
Okay, okay, got it. Any more follow-up questions for Team Neuroscape?
Yes, I have
Uh,
a last one. So, do you really think that understanding your team members' emotion is the strategic skill, or rather than the soft tone? If any of one of them is that, then why? मैं हिंदी में ट्रांसलेट कर सकता हूँ लाइक अगर आपके टीम मेंबर्स के इमोशंस को समझना अगर एक स्ट्रैटेजी या तो एक स्ट्रैटेजिक स्किल होगी आपकी या फिर एक सॉफ्ट टोन होगा आपका अपने टीम मेंबर्स की तरफ अगर दोनों में से कोई भी एक है तो वो क्यों है
Mm, What I think is like we can have the mixture of both. It's not necessary to just have a strategic or a soft skill. We can have the mixture of both because when you are working with a team, it's not like you are just thinking about the work, like you are connecting with them. Sometimes you get more familiarized with them, like a family, you can say, if I have to give it a word. So I think both is necessary. The mixture of it will be much better than prioritizing one thing over another.
Yeah, so does that answer your question, Pratik? So any follow-up question?
Okay, if we don't have any more questions, we can conclude with three reflections for the day. So, who would like to be the first one to reflect? You can
I'll go
reflect.
first.
Yeah.
So we talked about emotions and how evolution of emotions is important, right? So even when we are working in a professional setup, we are working in a company, understanding each other's emotions is very important because I feel that when you understand the other person's emotions, you're able to comprehend on their problems as well. If that person is having an emotion of fear, so you are able to understand why is that person actually fearing you or fearing the other person. So you can understand the emotion and then think accordingly what can be my response to that particular thing or how I can help that person understand the problem and then solve that problem in a way. So this SD really opened me to that perspective. I emotions are really important, and if we are able to understand the emotions, how we can connect it to solving problems.
Okay, thank you so much, Yashita. So, it is about listening and understanding others' perspective as well, right? Okay, so any more reflections?
Yeah,
Who
I'll
will
go.
go second? Yeah.
I understood that ancient emotions still wires in modern work. Like we both of the team showed emotions as evolved survival tool, like fear for threats or bonding for teams that now fuel leadership tugs. So like reinterpret these patterns with empathy to boost like biz innovation, turning classes into creative edges.
Okay, thank you so much, Nitish. Who would like to go next?
Okay, I will go next. Like from today's session, what I think, like when I think about how emotions drive success, I realize it's not only about to like feel them, it's also about the understanding them. And what makes me understanding them is all about the curiosity. Like it always keeps me learning throughout the pitch. Also ambitions pushes me forward, and that resilience helps me recover when the things didn't go as planned. Like if I talk about what makes me feel, that this reflections makes me see that emotions aren't just a distraction from the success. They're actually very forces. They're actually the major forces that make progress meaningful and that sustainable. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prateek. And okay, so we can have few more reflections. Who would like to go next?
I would like to go next. So,
Yes.
what I understood from this, like, is emotions are like this driving force. They act as hidden engines, which makes us to think and like give our work with purpose and progress also. Like what happens is sometimes these emotions take over this logic, but it's okay because when you let your emotions out, you will come to know the different perspectives of this problem and you can able to solve them. And yeah, I think that was my.
Thank you so much, Mitra, and thank you to all the SD participants. Now, I would like some reflections from Meta SD participants as well.
So who would like to go in?
Who would like to take the initiative from Meta SD participants?